I apologize for not slapping you like your mama shoulda done. Y'all, let's talk about Married to Medicine. We're talking, what episode is this? This is season 10, episode 13, Golf Cart Girls. It's so unfortunate to me that we are at the end of the line for this current season. I really honestly don't know what I'm going to do after Married to Medicine goes off for this current season, because it has really been the show that has been bringing the most drama, the most chaos, and has given us the most to talk about. I feel like if any show should have ended after 14 episodes, it was probably Potomac. And I feel like Married to Medicine could have probably gone on for an extra 3 episodes, taking the place of Potomac. I just do. Um, it just is what it is. There's so much to talk about with Married to Medicine. I'm going to really try to keep it to the episode and maybe a little bit on, not really that much on Watch What Happens Live, because we do know that Dr. Jackie was on Watch What Happens Live last night with Karen Huger, and both of them are celebrating the triple 20. They're both 60 years old and looking fabulous. Say what you want about her. You may dislike her. I know a lot of you guys may think that I dislike Dr. Jackie, but that's actually not true. I simply think that the show or the cast members have propped Dr. Jackie up so much so that she is untouchable. A lot of you guys in the chatterization are also very much on this tip of Sweet Tea was disrespectful to Dr. Jackie because Dr. Jackie is older than her. So if we're going to look at it like that, then I guess no one can say anything to Dr. Jackie because Dr. Jackie is the oldest. So maybe that's why everybody puts her on a pedestal, because if I go by the logic that you guys are explaining to me, that because she is in her 60s, then another cast member doesn't have the right to clap back at her when the cast member is clearly on the verge and snapping, then now I get it. I get it. Dr. Jackie really is untouchable. There we have it. It makes so much sense to me now. I understand what you guys are saying. You are saying that because she is older, she is untouchable. Got it. Got it. Clear as day. So I wonder if that means that Dr. Simone and Dr. Heavenly shouldn't be screaming and cursing at each other either, because I'm sure one of them is older than the other. So does that mean that they should be giving her that same level of respect? Or by the same token, I mean, Robin is in her 40s and Karen is in her 60s. So thereby, Robin should also be probably chastised for going at Karen as well, because Karen is also the elder person involved as well. So I mean, I guess we just shouldn't have any people who are of varying ages on these shows. I don't understand, and for the life of me, why the cast was so heck bent on even having Sweet Tea if they were going to just put her in a position where she couldn't say anything to them after going weeks, okay, with them sunning her and little girling her and sweet baby girling her. But that's just me. And again, now I get it. And yes, I'm being sarcastic AF. Okay. So anyway, now that I've gotten that out of my system, all right, let's get into the episode. What do I rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10? It was an interesting episode. I'm gonna give it like a solid 8.5, I think. It wasn't anything to make me feel like I needed to, like, I don't know. Like it was a good episode. In general, I like watching Married to Medicine. I don't stress watch this show. I watch it for the pure enjoyment of it. I take my notes and then I just, I just allow myself to be immersed in it. And I can't really say that with every show that actually, the Love and Marriage franchise in general, I watch with, like, and I take a lot of notes on it. Married to Medicine, I don't often have to take as many notes, but I still enjoy it just the same. Let me know in the chatterization what you guys would rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10. Mine is the 8.5, but I want to know what you think and why. Also, if you like reality TV related content and you have not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so, because I know sometimes we watch people's videos and we forget to subscribe, but I'm here to remind you about subscribing and hitting that like button. Go ahead and tap it right now. Tap it right now if you like reality TV related content. So let's get down into the episode, shall we? All right, so we are still in Hilton Head. I don't know why. Maybe because we had a week off, but it just seems like, are we still here? Like, the only thing that I feel like I would switch for with Married to Medicine is and Potomac is the trip location. Because here's the thing. Why don't we go on down to the DR and see what's happening with Curtis and all these things that he's got going on down there? Okay. This ain't Texas. Ain't no hold'em. Okay, that's what I want to know. Like, what's the T? What's the T in the D? Is it some D? And that's the T? Anyway, so the ladies are going golfing and they learn that there's going to be booze. Sweet Tea wins the golf challenge. The men go to the cooking class where they are divided into two groups. And it's kind of like one of those cooking shows that I do so love, where you get to watch the two groups kind of face off. And Cecil's group loses because he has not cooked the rice long enough. And I felt like as soon as I saw Dr. Eugene on the other team, I knew he was going to win because everybody say that man can cook. Okay, so there's that. And to be honest with you, Dr. Eugene looked like he can cook. I feel like and that don't mistake what I'm saying. I just feel like I sometimes can look at certain people and feel like I know you can cook. I know you cook down. You know what I'm saying? And then certain people I look at, I know you can't probably cook. But I have been surprised. But it has been long rumored on this show that Dr. Eugene is the cooker, okay? The chef Boyardee, if you will, or the chef Boyardee, if you will, okay? For the Eugene of it all. Eugene and not Eugina. So anyway, everybody reconvenes back at the heist, and there's a group that's outside with Dr. G and Sweet Tea. Now, Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly, they are not a part of this group. Okay, I want you guys to know that now. Otherwise, this conversation probably would not have gone down. But somebody, I don't know who it was, jokingly just yells out the word BITCH, and then, jokes around with Sweet Tea about it maybe being too soon, and she kind of laughs it off. And I can't remember. Y'all chime down in the chat. Was it Dr. Eugene or Cecil who asked how Sweet Tea felt about the baby girl comment that Dr. Jackie made? This be one of those situations where I feel like they be trying to sun her, and it be purposeful too. And we will later learn that it is purposeful from Dr. Jackie herself. However, Karma.org, I also think it's interesting because I think it was both maybe Cecil and Dr. Eugene who kind of noted that this had been a pattern that the ladies had been doing to Sweet Tea. And so Sweet Tea was finally reacting in the last episode, right? So it is revealed that Dr. Jackie, while Sweet Tea did apologize in the van, Dr. Jackie did not. The only thing that Dr. Jackie said was the apology was for you, right? So at that point, Dr. G, who just seems to reek of desperation to me, and he's just like, oh, I just want it to all be behind us. My wife's outburst. I just wanted to just go away. Just let it go away. I'm just so happy to be back here with you guys and to be on the television again. That's what it's given. Because the way he keeps throwing his wife under the bus is just shameful to me. Listen, it is, and I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how I feel about it. If it's really given, I'm grateful to be here, and I want to keep things as smooth as possible. And it's another thing that he did in this episode that I just really, it made me, honestly, it just really showed me like, girl, he is not really for you. And I hate to say that because I do want the best for them and her. But his actions to me make it very hard for me to just sort of be like team Dr. G. And I'm just being very for real with y'all. And I'm gonna talk about it in 1 second. Oh, this is it right here. Like we ding ding ding, Shawnee, we're here. So in their joint confessional, he says that Sweet Tea is better. He's basically indicating that she's better than her behavior, which was calling out Dr. Jackie and, disrespecting her elder, as you guys have clearly noted, okay? Disrespecting her elders. She ain't got no right to clap back at nobody who is older than her, okay? She should just sit down, shut up, and be quiet and let them snap all on her and just sit there and take it like a little wounded bird. That's what y'all want her to do, because that's what Dr. G want. Anyway, she says better. She looks at him and she smiles at him. She's like, better than them. And he's just like, And at that moment, I tell you, my friends, I would have gotten up, because let me tell you one thing about me. And if you know me, if you really, really know me, and if you know me for at least a couple of decades or so, you will know that I know how to make a dramatic exit. Okay? Because I have made quite a few dramatic exits, some of them which I am deeply embarrassed about. However, karma.org, each time I made that exit, I felt justified. Okay? Now, embarrassed as I might have been later, in that moment, I felt I was justified. And in this moment, Sweet Tea, you would have been justified to get your butt right on up out of that chair and get to stepping and heading down on to the courthouse. I'm not going to lie to you. That, to me, that man was just disrespectful as AF in that confessional. I did not like it. I did not like it at all. I do not like it for you, Sweet Tea, and I'm sorry to you, and I'm sorry to your family, because I know and I understand. Is that an Amazon package outside? Anyway, I know and I understand, that at the end of the day, I feel like, that's your husband, and I do not want to disrespect your marriage, because y'all know I do not do that. I don't like to disrespect people, period, on this channel. But at the end of the day, that little would have been the high-pitched that caused me to leave, period. Okay? But, for those of you guys in the comments, she should probably just respect her elder, which is her man, and just let it ride and just allow herself to be the whipping girl. Now, next thing I know, Simone is screaming at the top of her lungs that they're headed out for the yacht day. In Phaedra's bust, for some reason, she reveals to the group that Dr. Alicia and Dr. Kima don't do the oral. And I'm like, why do you care? I have never met a group of people in my life, in real life, that's so heck bent on telling each other what they do and do not do in the bed. And I really want to ask y'all in the chat, is this what you and your friend groups be talking about? What y'all do in the bed? Is that a thing? I mean, maybe again, it's because I am of the gay. And that's just not really what I'm doing. I felt like I might have done that when I was like a kid, like when I was younger, when I was, when we might have been, everybody was talking about having the sex, but half of us was probably telling a lie. Like back in the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that's the reason why when people start talking about all of these things, like I be thinking they be lying anyway. But the fact that they don't do it and what they do and do not do in the bedroom, like I don't really care about that. Like why do I care? We are not. This is not the hub, and we're not going to be going into their bedrooms to see what they doing or not. Okay, but because this will be a topic of conversation later, we will just let this ride for right now. Anyway, next thing I know, the ladies are on the yacht, and everybody on the yacht, and Dr. Jackie is in her best modeling form, baby, getting down to with her Naomi Campbell walk. Yes, we're celebrating 10 years on this yacht down to the Hilton Head. I mean, they do their best to try to make this 10-year thing sound like, yes, this is the cat's meow. Yes, Yes, baby, we are over the sea somewhere. Yes, yes, yes. Somebody then chartered us a big old Titanic of a boat. Anyway, Dr. Alicia speaks with Dr. Jackie about how things went the night before, and Dr. Jackie reveals that she knew when to shut up. And in her confessional, she says she does owe Sweet Tea an apology for not smacking her in the mouth like her mother should have done. Now, I don't know if that's more of a diss to Sweet Tea or her mama. But then again, if Dr. Jackie's older than the mama, I guess the mama gonna have to bow down to Dr. Jackie too, because Lord knows, don't nobody better not say nothing to the person that's older. But I also got to say this: if the person that's older is being disrespectful, what are we supposed to do? Because here's the thing: I grew up in the South, right? I grew up in the South. Let me let y'all know this: I grew up in the South. I'm a country boy. And so this idea of respecting my elders has always held, I've always held that in high regard. It's the reason why I also felt on Love and Marriage DC that Clifton shouldn't have leaned in when talking to Ashley, despite the fact that they were in a heated situation. It didn't make things no better. So in the same regard, I do also understand, for me, the idea that I have to respect my elders, right? But what I'm saying to you guys is this: if you continue to push and prod and poke at somebody, you do not get to determine how they disrespect you back. Okay? If they are feeling like they are being poked and poked and poked and poked and poked and poked and poked, at a certain point, like a twig, it's gonna break. If you stretch a rubber band, it's only gonna stretch so far before that thing snaps. And you can't be mad when the rubber band breaks and you've been stretching it, and you know you've been stretching it. And you know how I know she knew she'd been stretching it? Because Dr. Jackie said it out her own mouth. Okay. So for me, I just feel like that's why you don't know. You do not get to play around with everybody. You can't play around with everybody, because you thinking you playing, and that person and this person been playing with that person, this person been playing with the same person, this person been playing with that same person. You think after a certain point in time, the rubber band ain't gonna snap on you? You think you, because you are Dr. Jackie and you are 60 years old, you are above it? Y'all, real life, man. I'm talking. That's how real life works. Like, everybody ain't gonna give you reality TV responses. So you keep playing with people, and then they're gonna show you exactly what you've been asking for. And best believe Dr. Jackie did ask her to let it out, but I guess she didn't like it when she did. So don't ask for it. But we'll talk about that in a little bit later. Okay. So in her confessional, Dr. Jackie says, well, I did call her baby girl, and maybe she did take offense because, you know, she's married to an older man, and maybe it rubbed her the wrong way. Now, I mean, I was like, well, Dr. Jackie, I guess when you're right, you're right. I mean, like, I couldn't argue with that. See, that's the enigma with Dr. Jackie, is that I ain't saying she ain't always wrong in my book now. And then that little line right there was classic Dr. Jackie. And I'm like, okay, now, okay, so thank you for clocking in today, Dr. Jackie. We're back at work now, I see. Okay, we're back at work. Anyway, Sweet Tea then confides in Toya that she doesn't want to have beef with anybody. And Toya was like, well, she told you the apology was for you, but why did you want to apologize anyway? So Toya then reasons that she asked you to get it out. That's what I was also saying last week. I'm like, you asked for it, girl. You said get it out, let it all out. Anyway, Toya sums it up that's old school. You asked for it, Dr. Jackie, so she gave it to you. So you can't be upset now because you asked for it. But again, if we're going by the elder argument, no one on this show can come for Dr. Jackie because she actually is the elder, right? Sarcasm still inserted here. All right. And to my people and to my viewers who are in that same age bracket, let me ask you this. And I want you guys to give me the real, because I want to know, I really want to know what you guys are thinking. Are you also then running around disrespecting your young coworkers? Are you calling them baby girl? Are you little girl in them? Are you sonning them because you have the advantage of wisdom? Because let's not mistake being 60 and seasoned for weakness, because I don't see it that way. I see it as your strength because you have wisdom. But your wisdom should probably be as such, I'm not going to F around and find out. Okay? I don't F around with people that I don't know that well. I don't really F around like that in general. So when you do F around, wouldn't wisdom tell you, maybe I shouldn't be effing around with somebody I don't really know that well? And again, the reason I say this is because Dr. Jackie herself will admit to effing around with Sweet Tea. So I'm just trying to understand, like, it seems like, and I felt like people who are in the more seasoned category took offense to it. And I'm like, no, but it's like, I expect more from Dr. Jackie. Because I'm like, if you have the wisdom, then why are you effing around and finding out? I don't need to. I'm going to watch everybody else F around and find out. I'm going to stick to what I know. And clearly what she know is the O in the OBGYN. Okay? I'm going to let it go for now. No, I'm not, because we got to talk about it. Anyway, when Sweet Tea does go to, somehow this all turns into Toya encouraging Sweet Tea to go talk to Dr. Jackie when Dr. Jackie is sitting alone. And this is what I do enjoy about these shows is they didn't wait 13 episodes later, because they ain't got 13 more, but they didn't wait that long to handle this situation. I can respect that Sweet Tea realized that she was on the verge and she snapped out of this. I mean, I think a person can only be pushed so far. So I feel like she did snap. And some of that, I do feel like they were probably testing and hazing her just a bit. So I respect that she apologized, because for me, she had a human response for which I don't blame her. If people keep poking and poking and poking at you, at a certain point, like I said, the rubber band is going to break. You keep stretching it, try it if you don't believe me. Go get a rubber band and keep stretching that mama jamma and see what happens. So, Dr. Jackie does welcome her with open arms, which I absolutely loved. Absolutely loved that she received her in love, and it felt to me like a genuine moment that I this is what I love about reality TV right here. When we can see some conflict and some resolve, if it really is resolved. But, Dr. Jackie says, you came into this group at a vulnerable time, and the group has made fun of her. She acknowledges this, and that they shouldn't have done so. So then she says, I release you, Sweet Tea, and she hopes that Sweet Tea can release her, and she kisses her on the cheek. I thought that was beautifully stated because it was truthful. It is exactly what I have been trying to describe to you guys that has been happening. And the fact that Dr. Jackie recognized that it was happening and that she was a part of it, I think it speaks to Dr. Jackie's character as well. Okay? Because in my opinion, I'm trying to listen. I'm trying to keep it fair as possible, right? And I love when somebody can say, well, I too took a part in pushing you to that point and stretching the rubber band. But Dr. Jackie never said the words "I'm sorry," and that's interesting to me because I do feel like that was the only thing that was missing for me, because it still wasn't a signifier of an apology as much as it was I'm agreeing to let bygones be bygones. But at least if Sweet Tea is okay with it, then listen, I feel like I like that they had that moment together, because it did feel like the release of tension, which is what we watch TV for, right? When we were watching Chicago PD or Law and Order, there's the tension of the crime, but then there's the release when they catch the bad guy, right? So Sweet Tea says something very interesting, though. She says Dr. Jackie is like an old church lady, a wolf in sheep's clothing, but she's got a good heart under all that fur. Baby, let me tell you something. When you dissect that as a read, I was like, girl, did you think of that on your own? I mean, listen, I'm not saying that the girl ain't smart, but I was just like, it was so profound to me. And it also sounded real Southern country to me. And I was just like, ooh, now that was a good old shady read right there. That was something that was almost something I would expect for Phaedra to say. Lord, not Eck and Sue. And you will only know what I'm talking about if you will watch trailers. Lord, not Eck and Sue. Lord, not Eck and Sue. Girl, if you watch trailers, you will know why that's funny. Anyway, meanwhile, the ladies come down joking that they're going to serve the men's, which leads to Dr. Kima to say that y'all are trained. And Dr. Jackie has to check him like, ain't nobody trained. You train dogs, but you don't train us women. And I don't understand this whole training thing. I don't understand Dr. Kima in general, to be honest with you, but it is what it is. Anyway, the ladies begin to feed their men and whatnot. And again, I just realized in this moment that Phaedra was on this trip. This is indicative. Actually, this is not the moment. I'm going to tell you guys the moment that was indicative of Phaedra's entire run on the Married to Medicine. Okay, it's coming right up. The ladies head inside to eat. There's some talk about Toya kissing Eugene on his privates. Dr. Heavenly shades Eugene in her confessional and says she don't want to hear nothing about oh Lord, forgive me, Dr. Eugene's alleged small thing that Toya had indicated back in a previous season. Lord, I mean, I'm going to say alleged. I have no idea what this man's thing is like, and I don't want to know. Lord willing, it's giving this. Lord willing is giving this. Actually, Lord willing, it's giving this. Let's Lord willing, it's giving that size. Okay, Lord willing. All right, we want Toya to be happy and everybody to be merry and jolly, and if that's what it takes, then by golly, I hope that's what it is. Anyway, somehow this leads to some type of discussion with jabs kind of being thrown between Toya and Dr. Alicia. And I feel like there's some level of tension that's been brewing. I think Dr. Heavenly told us that Toya and Dr. Alicia got into it down to Willie Watkins' funeral home where Quad had popped up out that casket like a jack in the box. But we didn't get to see it because, unfortunately, that like many other key moments were cut out of the seasons for reasons I don't understand. So anyway, because I think that Dr. Alicia has been chopped and screwed on the show, I just kind of feel like they're trying to give us some type of story about this idea that she doesn't like to go well, they don't go down on each other. Okay. So Toya is like, well, girl, maybe he don't want you to go down there because you won't doing it right. I mean, that could be a healthy, I mean, not a healthy, but that could be a very good point. I mean, maybe she has some teeth involved or something. I don't know. Maybe she did it. I don't know. Anyway, all I know is she says that no, he sees me as a queen and he just doesn't want to see me down there. And I'm like, and Toya's like, girl, don't believe that. Now, I listen, y'all know on this channel, I try to keep things family friendly because I have gotten people who have, sent me IG stories and their kids be in the room and stuff like that. So, I try to like be mindful of the ears and things like that of that nature. And things that I couldn't talk about on a news television show, since that's my background, I just don't say. So that's why it's really easy for me not to really curse on my channel, because you can't really curse on national TV or a lot or on TV or something like that. So it just kind of has always stuck with me. So I say all that to say the reality though is, because I know this ain't something that we normally talk about on here, is the reality. Most men do like that. I mean, unless you do it wrong. I mean, I don't know, but everybody's different. So I understand why Toya was skeptical. There, the Dr. Alicia and Dr. Kima of it all, to me, those poor unfortunate souls. I do feel like whatever story that they're trying to give us, it's probably a little too late, because I don't feel like I understand it. It doesn't make sense to me. There's something I'm missing. He is supposed to be this very sexist sort of person, and she is continuously talking about how independent she is, but then it seems like she wants to show us that the ladies, that she's being subservient, but she's always talking about her independence. So I'm confused as to what it is that they are trying to convey to us and what it is that they're trying to get us to feel, because I feel nothing. Meanwhile, as Dr. Alicia is talking about why she's okay with Dr. Kima saying she is trained, she thinks that he's joking. He's outside describing to the men exactly how to train a woman. Okay. And I'm kind of like, uh, okay. So anyway, um, they take pictures by the boat, by the Titanic, and then they get back to the house for the slumber party in the tents. Dr. Jackie then again shades Sweet Tea, and she says, this slumber party is looking very middle school. So Sweet Tea should feel right at home here. But I guess it's okay, because Dr. Jackie is 60. And at 60, I guess you can say whatever you want to say without ramifications or anything like that. So, by what you all say, since she is, Sweet Tea's elder, I guess it just shouldn't matter. And Sweet Tea should just accept it and accept all of the insults being hurled her way, and should just sit there and take it and be slapped about the face with all of the insults, just like, and just be a punk about it. So yeah, okay, fine, cool, I got it. So anyway, Dr. Simone wants everybody to write down their issues in their marriage. Why would anybody do this? Like, I know that this is Married to Medicine, so this is the stuff we talk about, and we've seen these types of things happen every year. But it's like, I ain't talking to nobody about my marriage issues but God, okay? And maybe a therapist. And it don't sound like there's no marriage and family therapist there. Dr. G, I guess, is the closest thing that we would get to that. But that little he gave his wife earlier told me that he might actually be the person that needs to go seeking some type of marriage and counseling and therapy. Or maybe he needs to join Sweet Tea in that group for dating young people. I don't know. But anyway, I digress. So for Curtis, Dr. Jackie apparently spends too much time on social media. Apparently, he has to ask her for some of her time. But I'm like, aren't you in the DR all the time? So why does it matter? I mean, aren't you always making flights and things like that? You could barely even go on this vacation. So how do you even know what she's doing? But to be very honest with you guys, I will say that I can understand what he's saying on a real tip, because I think that there is a situation wherein people who work a 9 to 5, specifically, not even maybe a 9 to 5, but have to go someplace physically, and work, specifically if you're seeing patients all day, I think that what happens is when you get home or when you get off, you don't really know what's going on in the world. And so that is your time to kind of check in. Whereas for those of us who work, at least from home, like myself, I typically, in between my breaks, like when I finish a video, and because my job relies heavily on social media, I'm constantly having to check it. But like when I get finished with this video, I'm going to be tired and I'm going to have to sit here for about 15 minutes and just look at the screen or look at my computer and do nothing. And so maybe that is how she just decompresses. But I do understand what he's saying, because I can see how, if you are the spouse that is home, you have been waiting with bated breath for Bay to come home, and you're just like, I just want to spend all my time with you. I want to, lick you up and down and all that good stuff like that. So I do get it. And Toya gets it as well. All right. Toya gets it as well. In case you didn't know. Dr. Heavenly, so then it is revealed that Eugene, does what he can, to spend as much time with Toya, even if he got to take her weave out. And Dr. Heavenly don't need her man to take her weave out. And Dr. Kima says he's done it plenty of times. He says that he can be an Americanized man when he needs to be. And I think I'm supposed to be insulted as an American man, but I'm truly not. Perhaps because I am of the gay. But I think the implication here is that maybe American men, do things that could be potentially helpful to their wives. Oh, go figure. Could show some level of consideration for what their wife may need and is willing to do any and everything that they need to do to potentially, help her out. Is that what you mean, Dr. Kima? Since you want to just be sat around, you just want to sit around and be served and not even get down on your knees and please your wife in any way, shape, or form? Is that what you mean? The fact that Dr. Eugene can go to work for 10 to 12 hours out of a day, come home, probably cook dinner, and still find time to help his wife out when she needs it? Yeah, I guess if that's what it means to be an American man, sucks to be you, right? Anyway, there's another. Speaking of Dr. Alicia and Dr. Kima, they go next. Okay. And so apparently for them, it's about working together. And we learned that he got to manage the finances because she ain't no good with money, because apparently $150,000 has gone missing and she don't know where it went. Yeah, girl, let him manage the money. I mean, clearly, what are you doing with this money? You talking about you want to invest in the real estate, but you can't even tell us where you went. What is $150,000 went? No, girl, no. Before you start talking about this real estate, maybe you should start studying your bank accounts and your bank statements. I don't know. I mean, is your money being managed? Maybe you should be in Dr. Heavenly University. I mean, I'm just no shade. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, maybe if you enroll in Dr. Heavenly University, turn off, put it on mute, because I'd heard some things about, what happened to Sweet Tea when she was in there. But anyway, maybe you need to join Dr. Heavenly University so you can learn how to manage that money a little bit better, so you won't be losing $150,000. So he ain't got to manage the money all the time and be in control of everything in your household. Anyway, there's an interesting question about how often they're having the relations, and Toya is happy they're having more, but it just feels too planned. I mean, Dr. Eugene just needs to, I don't know what Toya needs. Toya needs a man without a job so that he can attend to her every need, take her into the back room, into the closet, and do nasty things with her when she least expected, take out a weave, take her on the most fabulous date nights and vacations that he possibly can, spend all his money on her, buy her new houses every year or whatever like that. I like it, because if at the end of the day, the thing that I do like about Toya is that she has a level of expectation that she expects to be met. And to that, I say bravo, because if you do not have an expectation for what it is that you want to receive in this life, life will hand you less than you expect. So to that, Toya, I do say, I'm going to raise my glass of kombucha to you. Okay. This is not sponsored, but I am raising it to you because that is a lesson that many people could possibly learn. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's got a nice little bite to it too. This is very good if you are looking for something that is like gut friendly. You know what I'm saying? It is the Health Aid Kombucha. It's ginger and lemon. It says bubbly probiotic tea for a happy gut. This definitely has the ginger. Lord, they're not paying me for this. Bye. Anyway, Norman, can you call them kombucha people? Yes, I'm drinking the lemon one today. You like the pineapple one? I went to the Safeway earlier and I got yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that interview Toya did. I got Norman by. Anyway, so this to me is indicative of Phaedra's entire run on the season of Married to Medicine and what she has contributed. Phaedra, as the lone single person in this group, is asked what the group's biggest problem is. Do you know what Phaedra's response to that is? There's no sage marital advice for somebody who has been married and been divorced and has kids and done this reality TV situation on multiple shows. There's no gem, no pearl of wisdom to take back. The only thing Phaedra says is she's glad she's not married. Man, why are you here? Why are you here? This response to me was again indicative of Phaedra's entire run on this show. I will give them nothing. I will give them nothing. Even in a moment where we could have gotten some type of pearl of wisdom, some type of jewel, some Iyanla Vanzant or Maya Angelou type of like just any type of like little gem, a nugget or something, and she gives us nothing. Okay. And again, that is indicative of her entire run on this franchise. I will give them nothing. But maybe I'll give them a little bit of Apollo at the reunion. I'll show them a little leg, just enough to keep this job. We probably would have got more from Apollo and his wife, Shireen. Clearly, you ain't got to have no connection to the world of medicine anymore. So, I mean, why not come one, come all at this point? Come one, come all. So anyway, next week is the season finale. Quad will be back on our screens. Yay. I do believe that Quad adds an air of fabulosity to this show in a way that Phaedra seemingly cannot do, which is connect with the group. I mean, Phaedra is a good... You know what Phaedra on Married to Medicine reminds me of? She reminds me of Sheree on Traitors. Give us nothing. Okay? I don't even know if Sheree knows why she's there. If you watch that show, you will know. You will see Sheree, and I don't know. Maybe she will pick things. Maybe she'll win. Maybe she'll win. Maybe that's her strategy all along. I don't even know why I'm here. What am I doing here? What are we doing? What are we doing? Anyway, I didn't intend for this review to be this long today. I said I was only going to talk 20 minutes, and here I am at 44. With that being said, y'all, if y'all haven't purchased my book on Amazon, please go ahead and do so. The Wickedest Wives, Book 1, Desiree's Desire, is out. We are hoping upon hope to be able to get this new book out in late April, early May. I want to do something big for the release. Like, it's going to be good. The second book is so good. It's so freaking good. And it sets up book 3, which will be the final book in the series, because I really just want to tell some other stories. I actually want to take a character from this book and give her a spinoff. Like, it's just so much that I feel like I have planned, and I just want to get this up and running and out the door so that you guys can have it. And hopefully you guys will love it and enjoy it as much as I do and fall in love even more with the characters, because there's so much happening. There is so much happening in this book, right? I can't even believe it, to be honest with you. So anyway, with that being said, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell button, and of course, I will catch you in the next video.